welcome back. In this video, we're going to compare the Outdoor Edge Razor Blaze knife with the Havalon Piranta replaceable blade razor edge knife. These knives both have replaceable razor blades for blades on them, and they're pretty cool. I've done a complete review on the Havalon already. I'll put a link to that up in the cards up there, but I'm going to compare these two knives side by side, show you what I like and don't like about each one, and also introduce you to a couple more knives we picked up for hunting season this year. So hit that subscribe button down there. Don't forget the bell icon so you don't miss any videos. Check this out. All right, the main knives we're going to compare is the Razor Blaze and the Havalon Piranta. But on the table, we've got the Outdoor Edge Razor Blaze, the Outdoor Edge Razor Pro with a gut hook, and that thing's really handy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Razor-lite EDC, everyday carry knife, the Outdoor Edge Flip and Zip, and some gut hooks for the Havalon Piranta, which also are really handy. Now, all of these knives come with replacement blades. The Outdoor Edge series comes with their proprietary replacement blades, and the Havalon Piranta actually uses a 60A scalpel blade. These are just standard scalpel blades that you can buy on the internet or from Havalon, either one. All right, so first things first, I bought the Havalon knife first based on reputation, and I've cleaned a couple of deer with it already. It actually does a very good job. There's some things that I like about it. There's some things that I'm not a big fan of on it as well. And then later on in the season, I went ahead and picked up an Outdoor Edge Razor Blaze, also a replaceable blade knife. Now, I want you to know, I spent my own money on both of these knives, so this is a good, fair comparison. These are both good knives, and any choice you make is going to be a good one on either one of these knives. But I am going to show you which one I like better and explain why. And I think that might influence your purchase just when you see what I'm talking about with these knives. So let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's set this one aside and deal with the Havalon. The Havalon Piranta is a really lightweight knife. One of the things I like about this best is this thing weighs like next to nothing. If you're weight sensitive in your pack, you guys are doing a lot of hiking, cross country, you're out west where you do a ton of walking and weight really matters, this is a pretty good choice. This thing weighs, geez, a fraction of an ounce. It's just really, really lightweight. So that's a pretty good thing. It uses a number 60 scalpel blade, and it comes with, geez, I want to say a dozen. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It comes with a dozen of the 60A replaceable scalpel blades. If any of you guys are into the prepper stuff, this might matter for your med packs because these are actually sterile scalpels and they're relatively inexpensive. The knife itself is pretty durable. It's been dropped a few times and you can't tell it. It didn't land on a blade. This is the original blade. It's been through a couple deer itself, and it's held up really well. You can actually retouch the blade on this with a stone. You can also do the same with Outdoor Edge blades as well. So you don't always have to replace the blade, but in the field, it's quick and easy to do. So to replace the blade on the Havalon, it really helps if you have this little plastic gizmo here that is a blade release tool. The way the Havalon works, you slide the blade into this thing, clamp it shut, click like that, if I can get a good angle on that, and give it a squeeze. And what that does is it bends that blade up like that. I don't know if that shows real good. So you can pull it off of the little scalpel mount. And again, these are real scalpels, man. This is razor sharp. So without that, you would have to bend this blade yourself. Even putting it on, it takes a fair amount of force, and it's a little scary knowing how sharp that blade is. They also recommend, there we go, that you can use pliers to bend this edge up to remove the blade. You could probably do it without, just by picking up and pulling, but it takes so much force to do that. Actually, this knife kind of scares me replacing these blades in the field without tools. If you lose this little plastic piece, or if you don't have pliers on you, getting that blade off and a new one back on could cause you to cut yourself pretty bad. So that's the one thing I don't like about this. Needing a tool to remove the blade safely, to me, kind of is a problem. One of the other cool little accessory blades I picked up are these gut hook blades. They use the same scalpel mount as the regular blades, and they're really good for getting in there and splitting those guts open without making a big stinky mess. You guys that hunt know what I mean. So those are available as an option. So that's the Havalon. So let's set that aside And that, and that. And let's check out the Razor Blaze. The Razor Blaze from Outdoor Edge is a similar replaceable style knife. You'll notice first off that the blade is a lot bigger than the Havalon. Compare them side by side, you can see there's a substantial difference there. Now it's not exactly any thicker, they're both relatively thin blade knives, but you got a lot more meat on the Outdoor Edge than you do on the Havalon. It also came with a bunch of these replacement blades. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it comes with 6 blades. It comes with less blades than the Havalon, but these are proprietary. You got to get these from Outdoor Edge. Not a huge deal, but just something to consider. That in the whole grand scheme of things might cost a little bit more money. They're pretty price competitive between the two. You're going to pay about the same for one versus the other one. The most important thing about this that I really like is this blade release right here. This little button. Push this button and the blade comes right off. Very, very simple to operate. Very safe. You don't have to have your fingers straining to get this thing off. You just put it in the slot there and push it in. Makes a nice little click. Show you that again. Out. In. Simple as that. So I think that's a lot safer way to change the blades. That is one of the things I like the most about the Outdoor Edge Razor Blaze. Also, I like that it's a lockback and not a liner lock style blade. Liner lock means you got a knuckle in front of that blade when you start to closing it. I prefer a lockback because you don't have a knuckle in front of the blade when you go to close it. So all in all, I think the Outdoor Edge series is a safer design than the Havalon, just because of the way you replace the blades and lockback versus liner lock. I can also tell you that the blades have held up very well, both of them comparable on deer. I've done, let's see, 3 deer on this one, but touched it up after the second one, 2 deer on this one and touched it up after the second one. So they're comparable sharpness, they're comparable edge holding, all that's about the same. For weight, the Outdoor Edge weighs a little bit more. I haven't weighed them on a scale, but just feeling them, the Outdoor Edge probably weighs half again more than the Havalon. Not a huge deal for me, but it's also a pretty substantial knife. The rubber handles really feel good. This one has a rubberized insert in it and the belt clip on the side. This one doesn't have a belt clip on it to get in the way of the grip, so I kind of like that. And it's just all in all a really good knife to handle. Now, a couple little bonus things I want to show you guys. This is the Razor Pro. This uses the same blades as the Razor Blaze and the other Razor series from Outdoor Edge. You'll notice it's considerably thicker because it's got the gut hook blade in it as well. Close that for a moment. Uses the same blade release mechanism as all the others. So you can take that off and on pretty easy. There you go. Still a lockback design, so you don't have to have fingers in the way of the blade. But the gut hook feature is really cool. This thing can be easily resharpened. I use a little diamond stone after it went through 4 deer. This is my son's knife. And this thing opens up a cavity on a deer like you would not believe. It's like butter. And it's got a really good gut protector on the end, so you're not going to split things you don't want to split. And it's really also very good in splitting the hide up the legs. If you guys have skinned a deer, you know how handy that is. Just be able to run that right on up the legs to split that hide when you're skinning the deer out. So this has been a really handy knife. I'll probably end up picking up one of these for next season. Can't say enough good stuff about that gut hook blade and how handy that is in the field. Obviously, it weighs half again more than the Razor Blaze does. I also picked up this Outdoor Edge flip and zip. Again, these are things that I bought myself just out of necessity. Having a folding saw in your pack is really handy for trimming limbs and stuff, but what makes this one special is it has a gut hook end on it as well, and this is really good for splitting rib cages and pelvises when you're field dressing a deer. To field dress a deer properly, you really need to get that thing from the rooter to the tutor. And getting that pelvis split to be able to get that rectum end out really helps a lot. And if you're just tearing things loose inside to avoid doing that, that's bad. You don't want to get that stuff on the meat. So the flip and zip saw makes opening up that pelvis and the rib cage a breeze, and it'll blow through them like butter. And it's very thin, doesn't weigh much of nothing. Comes with a little belt sheath. I don't use that. I just stick it in here and tuck it in the pack. Like so. Doesn't weigh nothing, doesn't add squat for weight to your pack, and is way handy in the field. Alright, so in a nutshell, which do I like better and why? Hands down, The Outdoor Edge razor blades I like a lot better than the Havalon Piranta. And I'm not saying this to knock Havalon. It's a good knife. I really can't say anything bad about it. But when I'm in the field, the last thing I want to do is cut myself. And I really think replacing the blades on the Outdoor Edge Razor series is a heck of a lot safer than monkeying around with tools and a razor blade right there at your fingers trying to struggle to get these things off, especially if you've got a little blood on your hands, things are slippery. I would much rather replace a blade by pushing a button very simply than wrestling around and messing with tools in the field. So definitely Outdoor Edge Razor Blades gets the nod. That is my favorite of the two, and in fact it's because of that that I picked up these couple other knives. So the Havalon Piranta, nice knife, but they really need to work on this blade replacement thing. It shouldn't take tools. There should be something on here to be able to do that. This feels a little bit better in the hand as well, the Outdoor Edge. It's got a nice little finger groove there to help you keep from slipping again when your hands are bloody. You guys that have field dressed deer know what I'm talking about. Things get slippery. You got a razor blade in your hand, a real razor blade. Safety kind of matters. So that's why the Outdoor Edge gets the nod on these knives. So I hope you found that helpful. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon so you don't miss any videos. I'll put a link to the Havalon review up above. You can check that out. I'll put them in the cards up there. Where? Over there. Yeah, over there. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.